Hey guys, it's Prodigy, and I'm here to discuss two things with you that many ESO fans wish to see in the coming future. A new class and/or new weapon tree. Some of this content is my idea, but it's mostly what I've read online from fans of ESO. Now, we've seen 6 classes in ESO, and many from Elder Scrolls 3 Oblivion, in which inspired our 6 classes in ESO, as well as Elder Scrolls lore. But one idea stuck out from the rest. The Dwemer were a race of Mer that disappeared without a trace. Obviously, the Dwemer were a race and not a class, but I'm sure fans of Elder Scrolls and especially ESO wouldn't mind overlooking some issues if it meant we could play as a Dwemer class. The class would be full of robots doing your bidding, or since Dwemer were very intelligent creatures, that could play a part in their moves as well. Now, what would the attacks be for the Dwemer class? Well, if we look back in Skyrim and ESO, we see a lot of traps, right? A lot of arrow traps, fire traps, stabby traps, you know. Now, we could use these traps as the toolkit, right? You could have fire, like we said before, some kind of channeled fire, steam. We see a lot of steam, okay? We can have some kind of high-powered steam, okay? Electricity could fit into the toolkit. You can have a robot that gives you major resolve or a robot that gives you sustain. There's going to be a lot of robots in this class. I mean, it is a Dwemer after all. Lots and lots of like mechanical attacks, right? Or the fact that maybe we could shoot a laser beam, okay, as our ultimate, right? Or summon a Dwarven Centurion that shoots a laser beam as our ultimate, all right? Or maybe one of our ultimates could be a movability with pen, right? And just sick robot armor. You could summon turrets. You can throw dwarven spears. Like there's so many possibilities with this class, right? This is just tip of the iceberg. Maybe we could throw out spike traps, right, to stun people. These robots that we summon could also it could be robot healing. All right, it's just it's definitely gonna be focused around mechanics and like robots. It has to be, right? It's Dwemer. You know, they're very intelligent, so maybe we can do like telekinesis. They can pick things up with their mind and throw them, or they can teleport, right? Like we have to dive into every possibility of this class. Now, when I was researching trying to make this video, besides Dwemer, there's another class that came up that people wanted to see be brought into ESO. All right, and it kind of ties into a new weapon tree also. So I thought I'd make Dwemer the class, and then which this now leads me to my second part of my video, a new weapon tree. Unarmed in martial arts or hand-to-hand combat. Now, I saw some people say that this wouldn't work, right? Because you need to have some kind of weapon equipped. I mean, we could solve that with one thing, right? Just add a new weapon tree and then new droppable weapons called unarmed. It could be brass knuckles, it could be a gauntlet, right? Some kind of gloves that can fit into the weapon system, right? And they give us our necessary weapon or spell damage. There's ways we could do it that would make sense, right, to fit into the game systems, okay? Now, some of the attacks could be something like Rumble, where it's a spammable, where you just hit a couple punches in a row. We could use kicks if we wanted. We could throw some legs in there. Combat Prayer, something that gives us major brutality, right? Fists of Fury sounds like a good ultimate. Sounds like a great ultimate. Pummel sounds like a nice punch that gives a nice dot damage over time, like a bleed. We got passives, Steel Fist, ignore 50% block mitigation. How about a passive called Rage, where it stacks 3 times each consecutive hit on a same target, adds weapon damage in armor, or weapon damage and penetration each time. Now, in review, we go over what we want for the Dwemer class, what we talked about, right? High pressure steam as a possible attack, channeled fire or electricity and/or as possible attacks, mini robots for healing, attacks, sustain, or armor, spike traps to stun them. They could have all kinds of traps, right? They're the Dwemer, okay? And for an ultimate, it could be a big robot, like a Centurion, that shoots a laser beam, or you could shoot a laser beam from yourself because, remember, they were really intelligent people, right? We got to really think this through. Now for our new weapon tree, which believe me, I would love to see, guys. An unarmed weapon tree would just be so badass, right? First of all, yes, they would need to make new weapon models, like some form of gloves, gauntlets, or knuckles, right? So we could substitute, the 2H weapon you would hold to the sword and shield or the staff, right? We need some form of weapon to hold in our hands, right? To give us weapon and spell damage. Maybe some unique passives that make it more viable than 2H. Not as overpowered, but something to give us an edge, right? Because we're freaking unarmed here. Punches and kicks for attacks, obviously. Some form of dot bleed, maybe like a super punch, right? That gives a bleed over time. A form of stun. I want to call it like pressure point or something. Hit them in their pressure point, it stuns for a couple of seconds. And an ultimate could just be a barrage of punches and kicks, right? Just kicking ass, man. Come on, Zos, we need an unarmed weapon tree like now. Okay, I'm done. But don't let me from stopping you from speculating yourself. Please leave comments down below if I missed anything or you want to shoot your ideas to me or Zenimax, alright? Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out till next time.